am a survivor of sexual assault in the 2nd degree.
I wanted to find out more about what the people in the courthouse said my perpetrator did to me. So what did I do? I Googled it and looked it up on YouTube. My Google search was helpful, but the results I got on YouTube left more to be desired. I was watching one of these videos, and I stumbled upon a comment that caught my attention. It reads, "It's pretty pathetic there's almost no help from lawyers for SA victims. Only videos like this giving help to the actual perpetrators." I see there's a reply, so I go to open it. Ever heard of false accusations? It happens a lot. Actually, he just says, it happens a lot more than you think or media makes you believe.
Jay, if that's even your name, have you ever heard that every 68 seconds an American is sexually assaulted? Have you ever heard of showing a little respect? Maybe sprinkle a little sympathy on there somewhere? Come on! I replied, literally, I was sexually assaulted and I can't find anything to help. Of course, I meant that in a legal context. You really can't find YouTube videos to help you legally with dealing with sexual assault. It's all more about the perpetrators, like she says. But there needs to be so much more content just on the victim's side and healing and all that jazz, you know? And I'm gonna dive into it, and here I am doing just that. My name, it's Al. I'm 20 years old. I am full of trauma. My goal is to heal and grow.
I want my story to be told through my own eyes and not pieced together by other people. For a long time, I really thought that I was alone and that I'd have to work through everything on my own. But now I've realized that I've always had a good root system of support, and a lot of people are rooting for me that I didn't even think about until recently. It's crazy how when you're hurt, you can be so narrow-minded in that kind of way, where you don't believe anything good for you is happening. If you feel like no one out there is on your side, let me just tell you this. I'm rooting for you.
I was assaulted in December, so I was knocked down really bad. You know, I get knocked down, but I get up again. But when do I get up again? How long do I stay knocked down, you know? And for basically the whole months of January and February, I stayed in bed and I cried a lot. It was a really, really, really hard time because it was so recent, and I felt so awful for myself, and I allowed myself that time to like cry over it, and I still do cry over it, you know. There's never a time to stop recognizing the hurt. I would tell people a lot that I was fine. I was hiding behind this mask of, oh, I'm okay. But then every time I'd be alone, I would just lay in bed and try to sleep my life away. Admitting that I was hurting was a really big step for me, because I was like, no, I'm just taking time off, which taking time off, that's awesome. And I really did need that time off to recognize like how badly this event bothered me, you know? Whenever you can admit the hurt to yourself, then you can start telling other people about it, and, you know, getting really deep emotional help for it. I get knocked down. I do indeed get back up again, because no one is ever gonna keep me down except me. So, you know, January, February, and a good portion of March I spent hermited away from the world because I was so scared that I would get hurt. I'd even be scared at home, you know, with like the doors locked and like all the precautions that you take. Like I would still be so scared. But I decided it was only a break. So at the beginning of March, I realized I needed to live. I had to make money. I wasn't making any income for that time. I had to make money so I could live, because living is money. You know, like it's kind of a fact, because you need money to do like everything, but also like what an awful fact. I'll come out with a whole video about money and why I hate it so much sometime, but yeah. Taking time is necessary to just focus on yourself and heal. Definitely take advantage of it. Take time to hurt. You lose a part of your innocence whenever you go through something like this. It's awful, and I'm so sorry to anyone that's went through this. I personally suffer from PTSD. A lot of people who have been through traumatic experiences suffer from PTSD, so it stays with you every day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about things that hurt me, but recognizing the hurt is a great step, and taking time off, letting yourself rest emotionally after you go through something like this. It's hard to say how much time you'll need. Tell somebody else that you're hurting. Reach out to someone, anyone. This is not something that can be suppressed. Suppressing it does not make it go away. It only makes it get bigger and uglier. I want to be there for anybody in any way that I can. Never let anyone make you feel bad about how long it takes you to get back up on your feet. Everyone is different. Everyone has different needs. Everyone heals differently. I wouldn't even say I'm completely back up on my feet yet. I would say I need more time, definitely. And everyone is worthy of all the time and distance they need to take their time and heal. Deserve safety, privacy, and closure. Heal at your own. And that would be my lengthy intro, guys. Let's dive right on into our subject. Sexual assault in the second degree. Each state, of course, has their own description of what it entails, but they all follow just about the same outline. West Virginia, the state I was assaulted in, defines sexual assault in the second degree as such person engages in sexual intercourse or sexual intrusion, I can't say that word. Intrusion, I think that's how you say it, with another person who is physically helpless. 55% of sexual assaults occur at or near a victim's home, and 48% of victims are asleep when the crime happens. Strung these specific statistics together to tell you my story without going into detail at this time. Two different emotions initially. First of all, extremely disturbed that this is such a huge issue. And second of all, it gave me a sense of comfort. I'm not alone. We are not alone. This is not a fight we have to fight alone, you know? My goal is just to simply comfortably talk through my experiences and hopefully help other people in the process. If you found my video as a survivor looking for more information, looking to heal, looking to grow, looking to learn more, I applaud you. I'm so proud of you. I'm thankful that you're still here, still fighting day to day. I'm extremely sorry for what you've been through, and I really feel for anyone out there who has been affected by this. How could someone I trust do this to me? I think this thought a lot. And it makes me really sad, and that is a negative thought that I have to challenge, because it just leads to more negative thoughts, which we could go down that road, but we are going to focus on the positive. The more you focus on negative things, the more negative things will envelop you overall. And the more you focus on the positive things, the more you will be positive overall. It's, like the two wolves inside of your body. And it's really hard to catch yourself in these negative thoughts and actively try to stop having them. I decided to start challenging my negative thoughts and my negative attitude overall about my junior year of high school, and since then my life has just slowly improved more and more. Please don't let the negativity consume you. If you feel like it's consuming you and you're losing yourself to the situation you are in, reach out to anyone you trust to talk to that can be a shoulder to lean on, and talk to them. And if you don't have anyone like that in your life, find someone. There's always someone out there. There's tons of hotlines and things like that you can call. There are so many opportunities to find the help that you need. Support and the connections we can find between one another is unparalleled to anything else. It is so amazing to be able to sit down and talk to someone who understands what you've been through and can be your shoulder. You can lean on them for support. Support is extremely necessary. I feel for you if you feel like you don't have a really good support system. It's very hard. A lot of people do not get that. It's finding people you want to be around, who want to see you grow, who want the best for you. It wasn't your fault. You'll hear this a lot. You are not responsible for anyone else's actions. I'm not responsible for anyone else's actions. All I can control is me and my reaction to what happens to everything. Along the lines of, how could someone I trust do this to me? When somebody you fully trust like that breaks that trust, breaks that confidence, it feels like you almost can't trust anybody at all anymore. It felt like I couldn't trust myself. I lost sight of who I was completely those months that I spent in bed, and I was really sinking, but I had to pull myself out of it, and it took a lot of willpower, and it takes a lot. And I applaud you if you're in this position where you're trying to pull yourself back together and put the pieces back together. You are doing amazing. I had to build back up my confidence and trust in myself to get to where I am today. Not to say that my work's completed at all. I believe that I will always be improving myself. I believe I'll always be opening myself up to more and learning more and experiencing more. The growing and healing process is going to be lifelong, and I think it's really beautiful in a lot of ways. I had to examine my feelings. My feelings are often something that I love to ignore because nobody wants to talk about their feelings. Like, ooh, it's so cringe or whatever. It's not cringy. Your feelings are valid. They need to be heard. You have to express them. You can't bottle up your feelings. It's just, one day you're going to explode on everyone. You know the saying. An issue that I have, and it's like subconsciously rooted in me, and I have to challenge this all the time, is that I blame myself. Everything was always my fault. Every issue I have in my life is my fault. No. You have to examine the way that you attach meaning to the experiences that you go through. It's a very hard concept to grasp, but let me try here. It has whatever meaning you give to it. So for me, part of my life is working, and working, I completely hate that because the meaning I attach behind that is money. Working means money, right? And money, and I already touched up on this once, but money is truly the root of all evil. And I'm not even just going to say the love of money. I want to say money as a whole. Money is awful. Everything in society is run by it. You can't get away with not having it. It is such an awful thing that we are all so tied to. So because I tie this kind of meaning to money, and money is tied to working for me, this is the way that I view working. Not to say that this is the only way I view working. I also view it as a community where a bunch of people come together to achieve a goal. And I love that. I love the community aspect that a job puts you in with a bunch of other people that you know are probably strangers to you that you've never met before. It's an amazing opportunity. I really do believe that I will be working on myself forever and trying to grow forever and trying to be the best version of me forever. When I went to make this video, it was very apparent to me that I needed to mention Dave Grohl and the immense amount of comfort I've found in his music and inspiration, really. And especially since the recent passing of Taylor Hawkins, I really wish them all comfort. Anybody who's dealing with that loss, anybody who got to know Taylor on a deep level, I really feel for them. So in an interview, Dave Grohl says, "Life should be full of moments you find joy. When you're in the midst of crisis, when you're deep in crisis, it's hard to see above it or outside of it, but you have to remind yourself of the big picture all the time. I really honestly believe it. Even in the depths of your darkest effing day, you have to remember the bigger picture. And I don't mean that year. I don't even mean your lifetime. I mean the stars and like effing universe. You have to imagine some bigger picture in order to bring yourself through any of those crises. I deal with those every day." Wish is for everyone struggling, including myself, that we are able to see this bigger universal existence we have and keep going forward. Like Dave said, we are a tiny little grain of sand in this whole huge picture that is the universe, and it's beautiful. Once we get a grasp on that, wow. And we get to play a part in that. I get to play a freaking part in that. Do what you need to do to get through this hard time in your life. Each person is so different, and they each play a uniquely beautiful part in life, and we have to observe this beauty. My part. What am I supposed to do? Where do I belong in this big universal picture? Blah, 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 blah. I ask myself this question a lot, and again, it's one of those negative thought things that I have to challenge. Right? Because I could go on negatively about how I have no idea what my place is. This question I find is super similar to the question, well, what's my purpose? What's the purpose of existence? And the simplest, most plain way I can put it to myself to get it through my head is to simply exist as me. And a lot of my journey is going to be figuring out who I am, what I like, what I dislike. It's really a lifetime, really a once in a lifetime opportunity to get to exist, right? Once in a lifetime, you get to exist and go through this. So we should explore it. We should explore it thoroughly and find out what can we get from it. What opportunities are out there waiting for us? What can we do? Emotions, everyone has personal, specific thoughts, and I would suggest everyone, not just people trying to deal with trauma, to journal or keep a diary of some sort. I don't do this necessarily, but I already recorded videos of myself before I started recording videos for YouTube here. So I have tons of video clips of me just like breaking down and crying. And venting about whatever I'm going through and whatever I'm doing. And you'll find that talking about things, the more you're able to talk about things and write even about things, the easier it gets to keep talking about them. Another thing that I do to keep track of my thoughts and feelings is keep voice memos, which is like the similar route of recording and saving for later. But yeah, these are awesome options for anybody out there if you'd like to explore yourself further. I everyone's existence is just exploring themselves and figuring out who they are and their place, sort of, in this tiny little world. Been through something traumatic, or you are suffering from any sort of mental illness, you feel like you need help in any way, or if you just want to talk to someone, I would gamble to say you don't have to be mentally ill to get a therapist. Getting professional help for any situation you have, and having someone that you can talk to about anything and they are sworn to confidentiality with you, is so amazing, and it's so beneficial. I'm in the process of getting this kind of help right now. YouTube videos and self-help can only go so far, especially if you have been through something extremely traumatic such as sexual assault. If you've been through this, please get seen by a professional. The end all be all is professional help, you know? Don't be afraid to reach out for it. Don't be afraid to tell someone. If you like what I'm doing here and you want to see more content, please drop a like, and I wouldn't mind if you'd share this with your friends and subscribe. Please subscribe. Today's question for the comments is, what color describes your mood? I'm gonna answer this in the comments on the day that I post this, but I'm really curious to hear what you guys say. What all different colors come up in the comments? Let me know down below. As always, I'm open to construction, criticism, tips, thoughts, anything you want to say down below. Open space to say it. Thanks for watching. Bye!